Hello guys, how you doing? I opened an English spoken channel, but I have to use it for a few months, I think, to have it running properly for the algorithm of YouTube, because I saw that if I search for the video I uploaded, it doesn't come out. So I put this that video here, and I had to do a small intro to have a different video from that. Okay, so I have a playlist of my English spoken spreads over there, and I will use the channel just to lurk on other channels and do comments and so YouTube, no, it's not a spammy account or something. And then I use it for my English only spreads from next year, or I don't know. Okay, so this is a general reading about on how do we feel, is what do I do about it, how do we feel, what to do about it. So stay here and check this spread. Kisses. Hello, so this is general reading, and the question is, what do I do about it? It's like a general reading that will make us dive into a problem we have. Maybe we don't know which one. So we are using Nicoletta's deck. I really love it. I'm using it a lot. And we have 5 positions. Right now you see 3 of them, but there are 5. Okay, so this one is the problem. Then we have the cause, and then we have the unpleasant part. We will have other 2 cards here for the positive part. So let's start, okay, with the first one, that is the problem. So we have the 3 of Swords upright, and the card shows a small golden hair fairy or butterfly, delicate, with delicate pink wings. Okay, the eyes are closed, like she was in a suspended dream. Okay, this got a Sleeping Beauty vibe, but sad, like a sad one. A sad one. Look, there is a needle that is like referring to the sword, maybe. Her body is light, is motionless. F is she were like moving through a moment of inner silence. So above her floats the swords. Okay, if you haven't seen this deck, there are the symbols over there. So the Thoth here cuts. Okay, the word that here is a wound. The words. The speech. So the truth can no longer be ignored here. So the symbolic meaning of this card is like that this fairy represents the fragility of your heart. There's no blood, there's no drama, only a subtle melancholy, like a held breath. So the pain here is weak and necessary. So it is the awareness that something must change. The pink wings signal emotional healing from, I think, like that, okay? Because, yes, it's emotional healing that is needed. So even wounded, they can fly, okay? They are not damaged. They can fly again. So the card, this 3 of Swords, invites you to welcome sadness as a teacher. Don't push it away, because inside it lives the truth that can free yourself. So the fairy closed her eyes, not to flee, but to listen to what her heart is telling her in her sleep. Like every wound is a flower learning to breathe. Okay, so the problems here is a truth that already landed inside of you. You already know, quietly, without a drama. Is silent, and the ache you feel isn't a damage. It's the sound of something that needs to shift. Finally, being heard. So the advice is, don't rush to explain away this sadness or to fix it immediately. Sit with it for a day before acting, for example, because this softness, this dream is information, not weakness. Okay, it's like a dormant state in which you can understand stuff. Okay, so now we have position 2, that is the cause. So the 4 cups reversed is very interesting because the card shows child mermaid enclosed in a small glass dome, like a hell dream. So around her there are shells, starfish, and a winged fish that swim through the hair, not the hair. Everything is suspended, motionless, as if it's time, as if the time has stopped, like in the first card, but in a different way. So the sea lies far away beyond the glass, and the mermaid is like watching it with longing. So the symbolic meaning of the 4 of Cups speaks of emotional stagnation. Okay, that moment when the heart closes itself off to avoid feeling too much and to choose stuff is like an inertia kind of feeling. So the mermaid is protected by the dome, but also isolated. Her world is beautiful but small. It's too small. So the flying fish represent a longing for escape. A longing for escape. So the wish to leave the dome and swim away in the sea of possibilities. So psychedelic layer here is that the mind takes refuge in a dream to avoid facing reality, maybe. So the pastel colors, the softness of the shapes, and everything create an atmosphere of sweet illusion. It's like maladaptive dreaming, something like that, also for someone. And everything seems like perfect, but it's only a bubble. It's only a bubble. And the eclipse of the art because I keep on saying eclipse. The eclipse of the heart here is temporary. So one small gesture, one new toe is enough to crack the glass and breathe again. Okay, so the message is don't stay locked in your aquarium of dreams. So the sea is waiting for you, and your light can still dance among the waves. So the cause here is you build a small protected world to avoid something bigger and riskier, and it works. So for a while, it worked for a while, but reverse this card tells you that dome isn't protecting you anymore. It's like containing you. It's like a cage. Okay, so advice: identify one glass wall. That is a habit, a story you tell yourself, a comfort you've outgrown that is too small for you right now. Name it out loud. Okay, name it out loud. See it. It's like naming the glass of your cage, of your dome. And that is a crack. That is the first crack. And when you do the first crack, you know what it will what you will do. Okay? And also the pressure will crack it. Okay, so now the position 3 is the unpleasant part. So there is the 9 of swords. Alright, here, and it's really interesting in this deck because the card shows a giant blue rabbit, an almost silent guardian that is surrounded by colorful blocks and small toys. So there are two little girls clinging to each other, hidden behind the building blocks, as if seeking protection from a frightening dream or monster. But the monster is a stuffed animal. So the bricks, the dice evoke like mental chaos, in my opinion. While the rabbit with its stare represent fear taking shape, but the stuffed animal, the rabbit, is motionless. It's just a stuffed animal. It's not a real monster. So the meaning here of the Nine of Swords is the anxiety, the night thoughts. The little girls embody the mind that is retreating into childhood to avoid facing reality, also for some of you. So the enormous motionless rabbit is the image of fear that grows larger than the less consciously it's looked at. I don't know if I'm clear here. So the pastel colors against the black background show imagination's light that is struggling against the fierce shadow. So the mind creates stuffed animal monsters. The mind creates monsters out of stuffed animals, out of flashes. So the fear aren't real, but they become tangible in the dream. So the rabbit is the symbol of illusion that only seems alive because you keep feeding it with your thoughts, with your ideas, your fears. When you stop feeding it, it goes back to being a simple toy, because you can make anything out of a toy. You can act with a toy, act as if, okay? So you just don't fear what the mind make up. Look at the rabbit in the eyes and you'll discover that it's made of clothes, it's a plush, it's soft. It's soft, and it's also a sweet animal. Okay, so this card invites you to transform fear into awareness. So write, speak, dream, but don't run. Even every thought you face becomes light. So becomes light, yes. So the unpleasant part is the spiral of what if you run at 2 a.m. that is bigger in the head than in the world. So this is an hard position to accept, because the fear feels so convincing. Fears are so convincing. So the next time that you start thinking in an anxious way in the night, for example, physically write down the specific fear on paper. You name it, and seeing it not inside of you but outside of you, in your own handwriting that you know well, outside of your head, often it's like shrinking it. It's like shrinking the rabbit back down to the cloud size. Okay, this is this was the unpleasant part. I really like this. Okay, so now we have the positive part finally. So we have the sun upright, that here is very strange because it's like a honeybee, a queen bee, honeybee, a queen bee. So the card shows this ethereal queen bee that that have wings, obviously, a golden crown, and is dancing like among Greek clouds. The clouds are confusion usually. So her body is a living hive, is dripping drops of honey, and there are bees around her, like luminous thoughts, like productivity. Okay, so below we have flowers open in the middle, so they are drawn to her light. But all the atmosphere is very dark around her, so she's the sun. So the sun in this deck isn't only joy, it's like a consciousness awakening. The bee, the queen bee, represents the mind that creates life, that creates light, order, sweetness, that is nourishment. So the bees are the ideas working together, and the honey is the reward of clear thinking. This is beautiful. So even though the sky is veiled with dark clouds, the inner light doesn't go out here because it transforms into nourishment. That is better, baby. It's better. So the psychedelic, the mind layer here is like a journey into the alchemical sun. So it's a mix, the fusion of mind and heart, because the sun is the heart, and here is also the mind. So the queen bee is the soul that has learned to fly even in gray skies, because why not? So it's bringing color where there is not color. It's bringing light where there is shadow. So the honey falling is the knowledge becoming sweetness, becoming your food, because honey heals, is food, is nutritious, is not empty calories, is not empty carbo. It's not that. It's like complete. It's complete and is a medicine. So truth that doesn't wound but heals, because here the truth is not a wound anymore. It's like something precious, and that gives light, that gives life, like the sun. So be the light that nourishes, not only light that shines, because she's not shining here. She's the light, but the light that nourishes, that makes the flowers bloom, okay, and everything. Even under the dark sky, your honey illuminates the world. So another word is that in another spread with that I will post. I can't remember if but I did it in Italian, so no. So in another spread, I saw in the visible card deck, I saw a friendly bee with a hive behind it as the Knight of Pentacles. That is a card about patience, a methodical labor. okay, and movement. So here in this reading, the queen bee returns as the sun itself. So this time not just working the hive, but becoming it. She is the hive, she is the beehive. So she's dripping honey rather than just building towards it. So if we read together these two drawn, the bee image suggests the same thing. So your path forward isn't a single flash of inspiration, but is a sustained hive-like devotion work, and is already generating something sweet even under the shadow, your shadows, your wounds. So the positive part is your clarity. When you assess your clarity, it just doesn't serve you, but becomes something others can feed on genuinely. So the advice is doing something that turns your clarity into something you can share. So a message, a piece of content, a kind word, anything, instead of keeping it for yourself. Share. So your insight is not as private. Share it. Okay. So now we have the last position, the best outcome. So we can finish this spread. So the Eight of Pentacles are bright. So the cards show two insects in a room with honey colored walls and a checked floor. So it's an elegant focused there's an elegant focused female insect that is a teacher that holds threads with small red spheres in the air, as if she was training the other one that is in front of her. She's smaller, okay, she's smaller, she's cute, and is watching, seated on a stool, ready to learn. Okay, so outside the window there is a landscape that is very beautiful, and that is the future. Okay, so that is a symbol of the world awaiting the fruit of your work, because Eight of Pentacles is like the mastery of the work. So the Eight of Pentacles speaks to you, telling you about dedication and mastery. These two represent the artist and the apprentice inside of you. They are both you. One part creates, the other learn, observe. So the red spheres are the details, maybe the trials and error that become perfection in the long run. So the closed room is like a signal, a concentration of focus, while the open window is a promise of expansion. So this is like a mental lab for me. So it's like you are building reality with patience, rhythm. So this spread is full of insects. There is the bee, there is this too. So it's like having a bee mind, a B mindset of the reality that have to have rhythm. So every gesture is a mantra, every mistake is a lesson here. The floating spheres are the thoughts that solidify into matter, I think. So they are conscious creation. So the two charters are in synergy. They also look like mother and child and something, but it's like more the teacher here. There is discipline, imagination, everything. So you should perfect your craft with love, not hustling, because every small gesture is like a spell that builds your world, like the bees, every cell of the beehive. And the best outcome is not dramatic, is not a rescue from your condition of the butterfly over there. It's full of insects, but it's a quiet, unglamorous mastery. Like the same bee like patience that appear twice in my readings. So now is shown as the literal way through the window, because that window can open through and becomes a door. In the future it becomes a door and you can go outside your mind, because this is your mind, is the master in your mind. So you can pick one skill, a project or something that is already in motion, give it focus time, okay, to refine today, maybe every day, I don't know. And focus, not without starting something else, something new, okay? Just give it, sorry, I'm so tired. Give it your attention for a while, okay? And you build mastery, because this is the outcome you can have. So now we have the full picture. So the story of these 5 cards is like very cohesive with this imaginary. So there is the sun, and so we start with the 3 of Swords. No? That is a truth that already landed quietly inside of you. And the cause of this idea that stuck you, that is wound, is a small protective word that has stopped protecting you. And it's like a cage right now. That is the 4 of Cups reversed. So the unpleasant truth to face is that the anxiety is keeping you frozen, and is built mostly by you from repetition. But repetition here is not working on a craft or on something. It's working on anxiety. It's making it bigger, and it's working in the head. It's not working in the reality, because this is the 9 of Swords. Okay, so now you own clarity even under the clouds, the confusion. okay? Because you're already producing something nourishing for you and other people. That is the honey that we saw. Okay, so this is a echo. This is a echo. We already know that. We are already doing it. So the way out isn't a leap through the glass. It's the Ivy-like crafting. Is one small refined gesture at a time, day by day, that doesn't build the stuffed animal that fears the anxiety, but that builds something for you. Your focus. You should shift your focus. So what to do about it was the question. What to do about it, about this problem, this issue. So you stop feeding the rabbit with the fearful thoughts. As I said, you let the grass dome crack instead of guarding it. Okay? And the pressure, your work will crack it definitely. And you trust the honey you're already making, because you're already making it. So you have the proof that the dome you are in was never the destination, that you can awake from that sleep of your wounds, of your thoughts, of your emotional pain. Okay, so it was just where you were resting before the hive called you back to work. This is nice, a nice sentence to end this reading. Okay, so thank you for the attention. I think I'm happy with this reading. I will listen to it, and because it's useful, obviously it's useful for me too. So bye.